What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin, and where do all fights start? Woo! We got an amazing show for you here today, so stay tuned, lock in, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and like always, let's hop right into this video. What's up, guys? How you guys doing out there? You know how we do. Let's start this episode off here. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to be excited for. We got confirmation. Naoya inoue, MJ, September 4th. What do you guys think? Bam Bam's in the building, front and center. How you doing? Bang Bang. I like to change his name. I call him Bam Bam, just in case you guys, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll change your name around here. Carlos in the building, tuning in. How you guys doing tonight? I'm locked in. I'm really feeling it right now. Listen, I like this. I like all these announcements. They just showed on Top Rank, Naoya inoue at a post fight, and he came down, he came in. Small crowd. Man, listen, I fumbled the bag, guys. I got to tell you, man, I'm a little upset. I didn't schedule my flight for at least a day or two. And, you know, before the fight, I should be in Vegas right now, right? But I'm young in this field reporting, scheduling stuff, you know, flying across places and stuff. And I'm a little upset, man. I wish I was there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd have got all that whole crowd riled up. You know what I mean? I bet I let them know a real one just stepped in the building. You know what I mean? Listen. Woo! Man, listen. He's an amazing fighter right there. That's one amazing fighter right there, Naoya inoue. I got to admit, the man got skills. And when we're talking about real skills inside of these boxing rings, a lot of these guys, a lot of these fights, what you know about these fights that are happening and shit? A lot of these fights are happening on social media. They're not even happening in the ring, right? This Japanese dude, you don't know him because of social media. You don't know him because of shit talking. You know him because he gets it popping in that ring, right? He's electrifying. So I can't wait, man. I want to go out there and experience the Naoya inoue experience, you know, real quick, you know? And what do you think about me on TV? TBV. Yeah, I've been on there, man. We've been right over there rocking out and shit. We'll talk about that in a second. But Naoya inoue, man, I gotta tell you, bro, this man is something else. And if you like fights like you like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, spicy chicken, right? Right? Because he's hot and spicy. Yo, I gotta tell you, right? When I looked at Ramon Cardin again today, you know, I'm looking at him, and you know, you could quickly misread his body language. When I thought he saw him, no, I'm 100 on this, right? I know when he saw him for the first time, he was a little shell shocked, but I saw him again today, and he looks focused again. He looked like he got over the shell shock, and that little Mexican is in there. He ready to rock and roll, baby. You know what I'm saying? He ready to bring it to the Japanese dude right now, representing Mexico, baby. Let's get it. And he's about to go in there, and he's going to put it all on the line. Ramon Cardin is coming into this fight, man. Listen, he's trying to change his stars. And when we talking about an opportunity, we talking about an opportunity that's rarely given to any boxer. A shot at all four belts. And that's what Ramon Cardin is standing up right now, representing Mexico, and he's giving it all he got. Let me tell you, a lot of people haven't counted out in this fight, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't count out Ramon Cardin in this fight. You guys know how I feel about Naoya inoue, but I got to be honest, bro. You got, listen, when you guys are fighting, if you ever fought or you're going to go into a fight, the fight that means the most is the one you probably going to train the hardest. The opportunity that you've been searching for your entire boxing career to become a world champion. Fuck. Roman Cardin didn't get that phone call. No. He went right to the big show. First shot. He didn't get a shot at one world title. They gave him a shot at 4. Right? My man went from the minor leagues to the World Series. That motherfucker's on the mount right now like this, sweating bullets. How'd I get here? Right? But fuck how I got here. I'm here. That's what's important. For that Mexican dude, that's what's important. He's here. And he's knocking on Naoya Inoue's door like, yo, what's up? Come outside. You know them vatos out here popping shit, right? Man, listen. Naoya Inoue's like, who the fuck's at my door? Who the fuck's banging on my door? And Japanese boys got up like, who the fuck's banging on the door like that? You know? So, man, I got to tell you, right, this is exciting, right? Because Roman Cardin, right, this kind of like world stage and what it represents in the month, you got to remember, guys, right before this fight, Mexico's own superstar in Canelo Alvarez is fighting the very next day. Now Mexico's up to bat. And Mexico is in an opportunity to win what? 4 belts. Canelo Alvarez can win what? 4 belts. That means that Mexico would have done as a country what no other country on earth has ever done. You mean to tell me within a 2-day span, they stand to win 8 belts as a Mexican country? That's the kind of opportunities Mexico is being presented with, guys. Japan stands to like defend the belts, you know what I mean? And Cuba wants to spoil the night. Cuba's going up against Mexico, bro. If that Cuban dude drops Saul Canelo Alvarez and shocks the fucking world, what if this Mexican dude drops Naoya Inoue and shocks the world? There's a lot of fucking excitement right there, Papa. Let me see what y'all saying. What y'all think about these fights? And sometimes you're thinking about, right, Naoya Inoue is so good that this dude don't stand a chance. But Papi, let me tell you right now, bro, don't you ever in your motherfucking life count out that Latin power, baby. Whether it comes from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Santo, them Latin fighters is no joke, baby. You know, and I know the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans don't got great history, but they get it popping. They get it popping. I'm not counting Roman Cardin out in this fight. He might be outgunned to many people. He might be outskilled by most. And I got Naoya Inoue in this fight, hands down. I recognize a desperate man. I recognize a situation when you go to sleep at night, your entire life has led you to this moment, to this place in your career. You walk in the room, you watch your kids sleeping at night, you kiss your wife on the forehead, and you stay up thinking about, what if I can do this, man? What if I could change my stars? That's what fighting is all about. Boxing gives this to these men. This Mexican dude is not out of this fight, guys. He is not out of this fight. Whenever you give a man this kind of opportunity, you never know what you're going to get. And Naoya Inoue, you better not sleep on this Mexican dude. Because you seen what Luis Pantera Nari did. You seen how these guys he was enticing the monster, right? Why? Because if you tell these tough men that he's tougher, there's nothing like somebody coming. You guys know me. I'm cool as shit. Slick, cool, laid back, a little bit explosive, but I ain't no bully. I ain't gotta be like, yo, I can kick everybody's ass. You cross that line if you want to, though. I'll defend myself like you'll defend yourself. May the best man win, right? Listen, all these guys is warriors, bro. I don't know where the hell these people forget when they're talking about these boxers that the beginning of their profession says pro, not amateur. It says pro boxer, professional, to be exact. Roman Cardin, he has everything right there. Whether many believe he can win or not, I guess what? Roman Cardin, even if you were to lose in this fight, in defeat, you have the privilege of saying you shared the ring with arguably one of the greatest talents we've had in our generation. That is nothing to be ashamed of. Depending how he performs, and later what Naoya Inoue decides to do. Ed Hearn said Thursday that MJ and Naoya Inoue are scheduled in Tokyo, Japan for September 14th. So it's a finalized, done deal. Ed Hearn done dragged MJ out of witness protection program, kicking and screaming, because MJ, he quickly, I don't know what that guy talking about. Right? Because Ed Hearn doing the talking, not him. Right? Because he know like I know, he know like you know, he know like all of us know, MJ was never a threat. He just made himself an exciting, or gave himself an allure per se, that, wait a minute, how dare anyone challenge Naoya Inoue? Isn't he the greatest fighter in the world? No one could speak up against him, right? Because he's got all 4 belts. Here comes MJ talking shit, popping shit, right? I'm like, look at this motherfucker, right? Like MJ, like, bro, but he pulled it off. He pulled it. Yo, I can't believe how many YouTube channels reported out there that Naoya Inoue was actually scared of MJ. They got that shit off, bro. There's no way on God's green earth I would ever believe Naoya Inoue was scared of MJ in any way. This man is probably the most skilled fighter we've seen in quite some time, since like the Floyds and the, Pernell Whitakers and the Sugar Ray Leonards and the, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on, the Marvelous Haglers, you know what I mean? Like, those were some skilled dudes right there, right? So here comes this Japanese dude, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, like at the beginning, I was skeptical. You know how we do out here in the U.S.? Come on, man. Them dudes, man, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. Shut the fuck up. Best fight in the world. Bro, it was great for the event. I gave the overall event an 8. But their performance, I gave it a 4. Because if you go back and you look at that fight, it was just, it was like we was a bunch of fighting fans, boxing fans, that was looking for a fix. We didn't have no action, if you notice, for quite some time in between. Chris Eubank and these dudes came in and they sold that shit out. 67,000 people. I can't front. That's a big turnout, right? But they like soccer dudes and shit. They like any little event, they get crazy, right? So Chris Eubank and Conor Benn, hats off to you. I ain't gonna steal nothing from you. I ain't gonna be a hater right now or nothing like that. That was an epic for that side of the world. Not here. Not in the US. No. And then these guys is talking about these Ryan cards and Canelo and Naoya Inoue that they don't got a chance of performing better than Conor Benn and Chris Eubank or putting on a better show. That's gonna show me right then and there. Yo, this fucking Turkey dude is no joke, bro. This motherfucker is good for boxing. Who's putting on a fight like that? Quiet as kept. I'm hearing in the background. Oh, yo, it's not even quiet as kept anymore because I got this information 2 hours ago. And I just saw Edgar Berlanga get on the stage and like confirm it from what he's hearing it from exactly where I'm hearing it. Same source, Edgar, right? That they're going to put his fight in Central Park. Then Turkey, you guys heard it here first. Round One Sports Talk. You heard it here first. There's going to be a fight in Alcatraz. They're going back. You heard that rumor with Tio? It's not a rumor. They're going to fight in Alcatraz. They're going to make a ring in Alcatraz in San Francisco, and they're going to have a fight there. Sources in the TO. I got people in the loops, and I'm putting my credibility in Round One Sports Talk and my little reporting to let you know. I don't know the card in its entirety. Who's going to be on the card? 100 though. They seriously talking about putting a fight in Alcatraz. That T.O. shit, they felt like he wasn't going to do it for them as a headliner because he was going through his little thing. Oh, T.O. could have got that. But they kind of like, all right, we're going to give you this one, but we're going to give somebody else the Alcatraz one. So we're getting a fight in Alcatraz. Watch. Wait for it. Wait, and then I'll come back. Who told you it? Watch. Just wait. Then, so Edgar Berlanga announced his shit in Central Park. So they're going to throw some shit in Central Park for them boys. So I think Shakur is going to be on the undercard of that. They're going to throw Edgar Berlanga on that. Edgar Berlanga wasn't saying the right guy on the podium, though. I didn't hear Shiraz out of his mouth. Shiraz is what we're hearing. We're hearing it's going to be Edgar Berlanga versus Shiraz. You know what we heard. We talked about it. I even talked about it on the Boxing Voice, right? So Edgar Berlanga revealed a little bit right there, but he also revealed like, y'all know more than us because I always try to tell y'all, the boxer's the last person to know. The promoters, us, the media, we're probably the first. That's not the boxer's job. The boxer's job is to concentrate on the fight. I'll alert you when you got a fight scheduled, and I'll give you the name. But until then, just keep training. That's the boxer's job. So, man, shit, I was like, yo, hey, let me read some of this chat right here. I hope y'all talking about some real shit. Nope. Armando, how you doing, buddy? I see you in the chat, huh? What's up, Armando? Man, my man Armando, how you doing, brother? I hope you're feeling better. This is a long time Round One Sports supporter, and I haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, yo, what's up, baby? So I'm glad to see you joining the show. Frontline, Bang Bang, Carlos, all of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Alberto, what's up? Duran, what's up? Yo, listen, guys. This Ryan Garcia card, too, that's popping off in New York City. You guys see the ring? How high it is? Yo, they made the ring mad high, right? So, like, if you're walking around in New York, the ring's going to be so high You're gonna be able to see the action. Then I heard it like more than once, right? But it's not official for me anyway. But I heard it from a couple people that they're gonna put it on some of the tumbotrons and shit, like the big screen, digital screens on Times Squares, like they on the advertising ones that they're always constantly like putting advertisements. Remember, like in the Spider-Man movie, they had, he took over all the screens and like, you know what I'm saying? So I think the fight's gonna be on some of the monitors. That would be very smart. That would be very smart to do because there's a lot of monitors and a lot of New York screens on 42nd Street where that the people can just stand like right here, watch the screen, and the fucking stage can be like a half a block down the street. And I know I say a half a block, but if you've never been to New York City, a New York City block could be your entire city as far as population and buildings. Just one New York City block. There's some small towns and small cities in the world. One New York City block is big. Trust me. If you've never been there, Google map that shit. If you come from a big city, then you're used to that. If you're not used to a big city life, it's going to kind of surprise you. You know, I was born in Newark, New Jersey, north side of Newark, and I was raised in Boston. So I've been in big cities all my life. So I'm used of seeing 400 or 500 people walking up and down like every day. I'm used to that shit. That's New York life. That's Boston life. That's East Coast. That's how we are. I mean, you're going to be right on top of the other person, but we're all going to have an amazing time. New York City is a pretty chill place. Like just like anywhere or any city you visit. Let's be honest, we're all adults here. Okay? If you go looking for some shit, you're going to find that. If you go in another person's city, respecting and behaving, then you'll have a good time. But if you venture out and you try to say, hey, baby, let's go find something, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're adults. You're on your own. You're on your own. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to New York City, you go there to be like, you're going to have an amazing time. Just like anywhere else in the world. Respect where you're going. That's not your house. You're a guest. If you ain't from New York, act like a guest. You'll get treated as such. You know what I'm saying? So, what's up, Mexico boxing? What's going on? What's up with your boy, Ryan? Talk to me. Talk to me. Mexico, nigga, you motherfucker, you better say something today. What's up with Ryan's characteristics, Mexico? Do Mexicans lose muscle mass when they go up in weight? I just want to know. I'm not one. You're here. You're in the building. Describe for us. Huh? That's a conundrum. How the fuck are you losing muscle mass at a higher weight? If you were at a lower weight, how the fuck were you bigger? If you were cutting weight to make that weight, which you said out of your mouth, Ryan, I stopped at 143 because I couldn't put my body through it no more because I just wasn't going to make the weight. I did everything in my power and I got down to 143. That's what Ryan said. He got down to 143. That motherfucker was big as fuck, boy. Right? This motherfucker's at 147. 3 pounds heavier. And plus, you were going to cut to make 147, which means on fight night, you're going to weigh in heavier, Ryan. So if you're going to be heavier on fight night, how the fuck is your shit flabbing like that? Where's them pec muscles you had popping off in the Devin fight? Where's that definition in your shoulder that you had in the Devin fight? So You're saying you didn't train for the Rolly fight? In order for what is your excuse right now, Ryan Garcia? Not until I saw Ryan Garcia, honestly, with his shirt off, that I sunk into my chair. I literally was like, fuck, like this, like this, like this. I was like, that motherfucker cheated. That motherfucker cheated, bro. Yo, I had his back. Like, I didn't have his back like 100, right? Because I'm not going to throw my fucking self out there for this dude, right? But I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, yo, are these people killing right? Y'all were like, yo, Edwin, you're too easy on Ryan, Edwin. Remember those days? You're too easy on Ryan, man. Fucking Ryan's a shitbag. And I'm over here like, nah. Ryan's all right. Ryan's good, right? Y'all like, Edwin, nah, he's a shitbag. This motherfucker got me. He got me. You can't, man, brother. When I saw his physique, I was like, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say, bro. Yeah, whatever, bro. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got an opinion. My opinion, I'm just same way. I'm just one of those assholes, right? And I'm going to say right now, nah, brother. Nah. You try to hurt that man, Devin. And if I was Bill as a father, now I kind of don't fucking frown on what Bill's doing so much. His baby, his son. The same baby he changed them diapers. The same baby he held that night when he was crying, when little Devin was crying. Same baby he got up and made formula. What you think, Bill? Never, man, I'm a man. My wife, hey, your turn. Yup, I gotta get up. That's the same baby he wiped his nose. You don't think, babe, that's his son. He concerned for his son's welfare. And meanwhile, this motherfucker got a smirk. Ryan, everything's a smirk. Yo, all the way until like 3 days ago that I looked at Ryan, I was like, I'm telling you, bro, I just sank in my chair. I was like, because I knew the truth. I knew what I was looking at. I was like, that motherfucker wanted every advantage he can get. I was just like, what the fuck, Ryan, kid? He might have fucking cheated, bro. I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's not that I don't know what to think. Is that I just don't want to. I never wanted to call an athlete just a complete shitbag or a cheater unless he was like fucking caught, right? And no one's gonna admit they get caught. But since Ryan couldn't prove how he got it in his body, but they couldn't prove that he did do it intentionally. So my ruling was still like lingering, whether he did it or whether he didn't. So I was more on the line like, come on, guys, let's not like bashing this kid's career like this. We definitively can't say he did it. Then coming into this fight, man, I took a look at homeboy. And I'm like, they like, oh no, Ryan's big. He's big, just as big as he was in the Devin fight. And I'm like, no, he's not. Don't lie to me, man. No, he's not. He ain't nowhere near the size he was in the Devin fight. And he was smaller than that, fighting at a smaller weight. I was just like, don't fucking sit there and try to tell me he looks the same. There was a bunch of Mexican dudes saying, nah, Ryan looks the same. He looks the same size. These people are just fucking lying, making shit up on Ryan. There they go again. There they go again. Trying to tell you, the people, what the fuck you're looking at and what you know, and trying to confuse you and say, well, maybe he was that size. No, he wasn't. You saw it the minute he took off his shirt. You were like, huh? Because that's how I felt. The minute I looked at Ryan Garcia, I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, man, listen, man. And I'm not calling him a cheater, right? I got no proof. This is all hype, right? I can't definitively say that, right? But I can't ignore what I'm looking at, man. I'm not going to ignore what I'm looking at, man. Fuck that. I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to come up here and lie. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying or not. Go fucking somewhere else. I don't give a fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Garcia, bro, that if that was my son, bro, that's why I'm so pissed. What if it was your baby they did that against? What if somebody drug cheated your baby, man? And it was a fact. He's not going to admit it, but you doing your investigation, and I got to admit, brother, it doesn't look good for this kid. Now, at least. You know what I'm saying, guys? And I don't like to say this about Ryan because you guys know how I am. I'm not biased. I'm fair. I'm critical to these fighters. I'll let them have it. I can be critical to anyone, and people are critical to me all every day. Been judged all my life, right? Let's just talk, right? But some shit you just can't just let go like that. You know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about in the chat? I see this shit popping up over here. Devin and Bill, what? Devin and Bill deserve this. Ryan was set up. Barboza going to school. Tio. Look, if Ryan was set up, which I was saying he was set up, right? That was my initial assessment. I was like, yo, I think this kid was set up, right? He really doesn't know how the fuck it got in him, right? Okay. If that were true, that Ryan Garcia was set up, why is it that it is visible that he got a benefit out of that PE, out of the Austrian? See, what the Austrian does, by definition, it allows you to drain out all the water out of your body while keeping the muscle you gained. So you won't lose muscle. So you can keep cutting weight and just be brolic as fuck. That's how those big bodybuilders have abs and shit. You're not supposed to be 315 pounds with a six-pack. That's unhuman. There's no human on planet Earth naturally should have a six-pack at 315 pounds. That should never exist. But because of these drugs, right, you're able to do that. When you think about Mr. Universe, all these bodybuilders, right, which kind of by the eye represent what? Health superiority. He's the definition of fitness, right? Mr. Olympia. Look what he looks like. But when you're looking at that, I bet you the first thing that does not come to your mind is junkie. Drug junkie. I bet you don't think of that when you look at the Mr. Olympian. That's all they are. A bunch of junkies. They're all on the stage like this, just shooting drugs into their body. All kinds of PEs, steroids with a needle, popping pills. What the fuck is that? You're hooked to a drug. If these bodybuilders get off all those steroids, like say tomorrow, they'll go into withdrawals. So how are you not a junkie? But when you look at a bodybuilder, he represents the epitome of fitness. What they don't want you to know is what they do behind the scene to get there. They ain't nothing but a bunch of junkies. How many bodybuilders have died over overdoses? Most bodybuilders that Olympians, they don't even live a long time. Most of them died tragic stories in their basement, hooked to methamphetamines, heroin, and cocaine. If you think I'm lying, go read most of those dudes' stories. You think I'm lying? That's all they are. When you see, like, look, when I broke down the Ryan Garcia situation, I never wanted to call him a drug cheat. I didn't see it in his eyes that he looked like, at times he looked like, man, I don't really know what the fuck is going on. He looked puzzled, the kid. So he had me convinced. I was like, well, maybe he's just a big kid. Maybe Ryan Garcia got too big for the division and he can no longer make this weight. He's going to make 147, no problem. Problem is, here we are, present day. He's making 147 and it looks like he's skinnier. He looks like his cheeks are like this. At 147, he's like this. Look at Ryan right now. He's like this. At 147. So I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, how the fuck are you thinner, less muscle? You got a more of a boxer's body. You know, a boxer's body is not really eye-catching, appealing. It's like that real slender, like, frame. That's a real boxer's body. That's what Ryan looks like he has now. What you actually don't want to be a boxer, you don't want big muscles. You don't want, like, to be like fucking Tim Bradley or something. Because the more you throw punches, the more blood is going to fill into those muscles and your hands are going to be like jelly after a while. So what you want is a more like real, like, just straight frame. That's a better boxer body, but it's not eye-catching. Fighters like Evander Holyfield and AJ were exceptions to the rule. They look like fucking Adonises, like fucking Roman Greek, fucking Greek fucking statues. Like fucking Evander Holyfield fought like a machine. He fought like the guy in the Rocky movie. He fought exactly like that. Like it was just too good. His technique, Evander Holyfield, he looked like a robot, like, but just ripped, just cut the fuck up. Yo, he was a specimen, was he? Evander Holyfield? He's a scary looking motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't play with Evander Holyfield. If I was ever in this situation, straight up, bro, I'm going for the gusto. Bam, nigga, fuck that. Bah, let's get it. Boo-boo, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get fucked already if I do, but let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Evander Holyfield was crazy. Like, look, he as a specimen, as a fucking, he was crazy looking. But like when I looked at Ryan, I was like, yo, Ryan, my dude, like, your fucking chest is sagging. You got a little gut there, kid. You see a little pokey gut, looking a little pudgy there. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, Ryan, what the fuck is this? Yo, y'all think I'm bullshitting? Fuck that. We putting up Ryan before and after photos right now on the screen because you guys want to. You guys did this. This is what you want. So I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you exactly what you want. I see that dude typing. This is what you want? Okay. I gotcha. Let's, why don't we just, I got a better idea. We're just going to go search the images. So let's just say by definition, Ryan versus Ready. Okay. I need an image of that. Siri, give me a fucking image of, man, I wish I had a secretary. Siri, hey Siri, you're fired. Oh my God, freaking Siri. She doesn't do shit, but just tell me everything about. These guys are suckers, bro. Ooh. This is a good picture right here. man is brolic, bro. My man is brolic. Hold up. Here. You guys got to see this with me. My man is fucking shaky. Look at my man. Come on, guys. Are you guys serious right now? Look at the size of this kid. Hold up. Let me look at. What the fuck is this? What is this? Well, look at the shoulder. Look at the arm. Look at. You got to be crazy. Come on, man. Look at this man, bro. Look at the wind right after. Look at the shoulder. Look. Yeah! Cut. Look at that. Look. Buffed. Look. This is crazy. Stop it, guys. Stop it. Look at this man, bro. Come. You guys, where you at? Stop playing with me right now, bro. Come on, man. Hold on. Let's see what he looked like in them yellow pants training with David. Let me see if I can get an image of that. Hold up. So we seen the before, right? Even buffed, right? All right. Let's see. Roll. Let's see. Workout. Let's see. The workout. This motherfucker is good, Ryan, bro. At what he does, faking motherfuckers out. This motherfucker is good at this shit, bro. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. There's no way on God, man. Listen, stop playing with me right now. Hold up, we're going back there. We're going back to the scene of crime. Hold on. We going back to the scene of the crime. What the fuck is? What is this? What is this? What is? Oh my God, bro. Are you serious right now? Look at this. Look at the flab. Where's the abs? No abs. You see right in there? No abs. No abs. Where's the red? Where is it? I don't know, man. He just don't got it in the neck area. Remember, like, when he came in with Devin and shit, this whole top part of his fucking back and his neck was on swole, bro. That shit look, it's all thin down. Know what I'm saying? So what are we saying? Did he not train good for Ryan? He didn't beef up? I'm saying, like, in comparison, look at the size of this motherfucker right here, bro. Look at him right here. Just this is yesterday. That's what he looked like yesterday. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. You see that right on his neck? Up here, zoom in. Go like that with your iPhone, bro. You know you can zoom in on that bitch. Right? Yo, hold up. We go. How do we make this bigger? How about that? How about that right there? Okay. Hold up. Okay. Listen. Look at the top part. Everything. Look at it. That ain't shit. Look at my man right here. Yo, my man is brawling. Yo, look at him. I don't know what to say. I don't know, man. He just doesn't. Look at him. Look at the side by side. That's yesterday. A day. It says it right there. 1 day ago. Right? Look at him here a day ago. In comparison. Do you see what? Look at this is the Devin fight. This is 1 day ago. I see you, Frontline. I see you. See what I'm saying? I don't know what to think, guys. Because if you're going up in a new weight, come on, guys. What I mean, Frontline in here, I know he got something to say. We're gonna bring Frontline up to the show. Frontline, how you doing in the building?
What's up, Bobby?
Whew. Oh my God, I don't know. I
Yo,
don't know.
what's rubbing off on you?
What you mean? What's rubbing off on me? What you talking about?
I mean, all of a sudden, Haney's this monster.
Nah, 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 nah,
Or
nah, nah. Hold on, hold
all
on.
of a sudden,
Stop it. Stop. Don't,
Ryan's
don't,
a
don't lie. Don't
cheater.
get up here. Don't get up
Hold on,
here.
hold on, hold on.
Hmm?
All of a sudden, Cardina's got a chance against Inoue.
Yeah. It's that you got to understand,
Yo,
Papi.
I
I'm
like
not
this
going to be
argument.
biased for one guy.
I
I'm not
like
going to
this
be biased for
argument.
Naoya in a way. And I honestly think that, what's his name? Yo, hold on. I got to take this shit down. Hold up. It's part of the show and shit now. Nah, you can't be in with us. Yo, listen, no. Honestly, I've always preached here at Round One Sports Talk. I'm not gonna change. Okay. What I think is my opinion on what my boxing insight and my boxing intuitive mind thinks. I really think that Devin Haney's gonna win this fight. I might not have him in the next fight. I might not, it all depends. I'm not a Devin Haney fan per se. I'm a boxing fan. As far as this fight right here with Ramirez, I got Devin Haney in the fight. I got Devin Haney in the fight. And like I told you, Frontline, you guys watch my show. I always told you, I always liked Devin Haney, but he was never a finished product.
Right.
Never. I told you guys this from the fucking beginning. He is not complete. I said I won't put him on my pound for pound list. I won't do it because he's not. And until he proves that, I won't give him that status. Well, these are the kind of fights where you prove yourself,
Yo, they
But
roasting you
Devin,
in the chat.
huh?
They roasting you in the chat.
With what? What they saying? What they say? Read
You've
it.
been
Come on.
you've been enlightened. I'm not gonna say who said it. You got to look that up.
Look it up. Come
Um,
on.
let me see who else. Who else? Who else? Who else?
What's up, Troll? Come on, Frontline. Read them chats.
Troll's my guy.
Read them
That
chats.
motherfucker.
Come on. Read them. Let's go.
No, no. All jokes aside, how do you see Haney winning? By UD?
Okay. My first prediction would be the unanimous decision, of course. I
Okay.
see that. That's my first. What I'm hoping for is that Devin Haney shows his dominance, that he really starts to show himself as a better fighter. Now, if I don't start seeing that from Devin Haney, then I'll finally come to the conclusion that, yeah, he didn't pan out. He didn't
So,
become the fighter that I thought he might, become,
in order for Haney to win on scorecards in New York, he has to put on a masterclass
Well, not necessarily.
because you got to understand the New York judges, the
Oh,
New York Commission, they're still mad at Haney for the shit he pulled and the people that got fired and quit and so on and so forth. That
ooh.
that being said, that being said, you got to understand a lot of people are taking Haney by KO.
Hmm.
Haney doesn't have the pop. I'm sorry, he doesn't. And Ramirez is a fucking warrior. Meaning, he was dropped twice against Josh Taylor. Outside of that, he hasn't been dropped. Haney never been dropped until he met Ryan. Now, the difference between Ryan and this is my opinion though, and Ramirez is a more polished fighter than Ryan is. Ryan has more pop, obviously, but the
Mm.
way Ramirez puts his punches together and applies pressure is going to be totally different than what Ryan did to
Whoa. Go ahead. Go
what's
ahead.
going
I'm
to
sorry.
call it.
It's gonna be totally different than when
Yeah,
Ryan did. Okay. All right. You think that, huh?
look. Eddie said, "Frontline, suelta la pregunta. Round one sports. Si quiere un papá como el de Haney Jr. para que lo defienda de todo siempre."
Let's go. Listen.
Hey yo,
Okay.
you gotta watch. I know why you're talking. You're very careful about talking shit about Haney because you're afraid to get a letter in the mail from his attorney. I get it.
I
I'm
get
with
it.
you.
Listen. That letter will come. Don't you guys don't
hey,
get me fucked up, all right?
hey, yo,
What?
but I see Ramirez give me personally. This and
Mm-hmm.
now, mind you, this is my opinion. You got to wait till tomorrow for the official pick because it's everything's subject to change.
It's subject to change, bro.
But I got Ramirez winning the fight by a late stoppage.
You crazy.
Okay, call me
Okay.
crazy when it happens. Just shine my belt. That's all I got
Oh,
to say.
shine your belt. Shine your belt.
That's all
Okay,
I got to
hold on.
say.
Hold on. This is what I got to say to what you're saying about shine your belt with Devin Haney having no power. This is what I got to say for you. This is what I got to say. Who? Who?
Edwin,
Who? Who?
Edwin, look at
Who?
look at the
Who?
year of that fight.
Woo! Yo, look at my boy. Huh? Huh? Oh my
Hey,
God.
what
Hey,
year
yo,
was that?
yo, listen,
Hold
listen.
on, I can look it up right now.
I'm
Hold
just
on.
saying. That's. I'm just answering. You say he ain't got no power.
Devin
My
Haney,
man,
that was
listen. If
against.
his head was made of rubber, he'd have wrapped his head around himself fucking 30 times the way Devin Haney fucking reached back and cracked his jaw. Okay. Of late, his competition has gotten stronger. When you go up in competition, the knockouts are going to be harder to, let's just be honest, because what you're doing is you're facing better competition. They're not just going to stick their chin out there for you. So to get the knockouts higher in your career, that's when you start to pull off impressive shit. So the knockouts are going to become a little far in between. Look at just ask Saul Canelo Alvarez. When you start fighting higher, you're fighting way more skilled fighters. That's all that's happening. Devin fought fucking Lomachenko. George
Which
Kamboja that
arguably a
beat
lot of people
Theo.
saw him losing. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but he won that fight.
He did
Um, yes, and he defended all four belts twice.
at 35.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But he did it.
Right.
He did
No,
it.
I like I said, I'm not a Haney fan at all. I don't like Haney at all. I'm not gonna say I hate him, but I can't sit here and say he's trash because he's not. He's a good
He's not.
boxer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a
That's
good boxer. He's
exactly
not a
what I'm
great
saying.
boxer. He's a
Exactly
good
what I'm
boxer.
saying. That's
But
exactly what I'm saying.
but like you said, as he steps up competition,
He's not gonna get those knockouts.
The only thing against Ramirez that I would
He's
say
not.
is his age. Is his age. That's
He
the only thing.
Poppy, front line, front line. Listen, for as much as a lot of people really want to see Devin Haney fail, all right, for whatever reason, he's a big mouth. His father's a big mouth. I can see where you get turned off by his flamboyant persona. A lot of people are turned off by that, by having that kind of performance against Ryan Garcia. That would really like put it over the top for most people. But I'm gonna tell you what. Tell you what, Devin Haney is good for the sport. He's an active, pretty good known, well accomplished already fighter that I think has a lot to offer. I'm not ready to cut Devin Haney off, and there's no sympathy from me. If you don't have the skills to pay the bills, I will not say it. I think that Devin Haney is in a better position in his life than Jose Ramirez walking out. Ramirez is not that old at 32 years old of age. I don't think he's really that old at all. And I don't think he got enough boxing matches to really put him in the category where he has what we consider in boxing miles. I think he has a regular average boxing career. He's at 32 years old. Naoya Inoue's 32 years old. And I think he's the best thing since sliced bread. Same
So
age
let
as
me ask you something. Let me
Ramirez.
ask you. Let
What?
me ask you something, Edwin.
What's up?
This is hypothetical
Yeah.
because it's not going to happen yet. It will happen after tomorrow
Okay.
when Haney rematches Ryan, right? And Ryan goes through all the testing, all the bullshit. all the bureaucracy and all the bull, whatever.
Be 1-1.
And he beats the shit out of Haney again.
Nope.
What's gonna be the fucking excuse then?
Ironically, if Ryan can pull that off, if Ryan can pull that off, it would do a lot for his bullshit, right? It would solidify that what I didn't cheat the first time. So whether he did cheat and he knew it, guess what's going to happen? He's going to be able to cover up his lie. Well, the outcome of this fight is crucial to the boxing world and out kids looking outside on the outside looking in. Meaning, there are a lot of people that actually think that Jake Paul is a skilled fighter. That's what I'm talking about here. At some point, the world is broken. Whoever, and I don't shit on Jake Paul because what he's doing for boxing is awesome. Amanda Samano, shouts out to you. And I don't mean to take shots at Jake Paul, but I know better amateurs than him. But I don't know better amateurs that are more successful than Jake Paul. So take that to the bank, right? So when I'm looking at this, and I see that in some sense the world is broken and what their perception is of a fighter, a boxer, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that in the art. Who's good is good. Who gets the credit should get the credit. That's what I'm about.
Right. Well,
You
that's what
know,
I'm saying.
and look, and this is what look. Ramirez is fucking great, and if he can pull this upset, yo, bro, hats off to you, Ramirez. You guess what you just did? You just reinvigorated your career. Devin Haney's a good scalp. That to have that scalp on your record for Ramirez, he'll be back and fighting for a title in no time, right? And where does Devin go from there? He really goes back to the drawing board because although in the boxing world, he would only technically, and this was crazy. Some of these guys in the chat said, oh, if Devin loses this fight, his career's over. What do you mean? He
No,
got one loss.
that's not true.
He got one loss. In the boxing eyes, he has two losses in a row. But on paper, he would only have one loss. He would kind of be in like that Errol Spence Jr. situation where like Arrow, like where the fuck is he? Let's not even bring that man up. So, where does he go if he loses? And then does Turkey still promote the fight if either man were to lose in 24 hours? Let's say Devin pulls off his part of the agreement and Ryan loses. Let's say Ryan pulls off his part of the agreement and Devin loses. Do we still want to see the Ryan Devin rematch? And
Of
does
course,
Turkey put it together?
he will.
Okay, that's what
You
you
got to
say,
understand.
but
You got to understand why, though.
I
Ryan,
I
Ryan,
understand.
you
Yeah,
understand why, but I'm just saying for the people to hear it out
right,
is the you got to understand. Like you always say on your show, boxing is a business disguised as. I mean, it's a sport. I mean, it's a business disguised as a sport.
right.
So business wise, you got to understand. Turkey's a businessman. Why do you think he's putting this card together? Because he knows it's bringing the box. Look at the boxing community. How crazy they're going. They're talking left and right about every card that he's putting on. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing the right thing right now. But if he was to put Ryan and Devin, even if Ryan loses, a Ryan versus Devin rematch, it's gonna sell no matter what because there's a lot of unanswered questions for both sides. The Devin side is gonna say he cheated. I'm gonna prove that he cheated, and then the Ryan side is gonna say I didn't cheat, and I'm gonna prove to them that I didn't cheat. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
going both ways. So it's a business move, and even Rhodey's stepping out the way. Rhodey says, "Yo, even if I win, Devin needs his rematch."
You want to know something that as a man, when you start advertising for another man to have a future fight, why he's supposed to be fighting you? it concerns me a little bit where Rolly's mind's at. I don't know how you view that frontline, but I want to know. I want to ask you: have you ever pom cheerleader for another man that you were fighting for hopes for him to whooping that other guy's ass? Have you ever like?
Nah.
Where is?
It's that
How
new
is that?
era. It's this new generation,
What the
bro.
fuck is? I mean, but yeah, you got me. Like, I'm
You
fucked
got
up behind
you,
that.
you confused yourself, huh?
I confuse myself. Hell yeah. I don't know what to say.
Hey,
Thank you.
Bang asked a question. Not sure what top 140 or 47 fighter Devin can beat.
140 top guys. Devin can beat a lot of them, I think, outright. There's a lot of top. I mean, okay. I think that I
Here, I'll
think
give you a couple names.
Sandler
Hitchens.
Martin will be a good fight for him.
You
Sandler
think he could
Martin
beat
would
Hitchens?
ooh, uh Africa Africa's big for 140, bro. He's
You think
fucking
he could beat
big.
Gary Antoine Russell?
He's Gary
You
Antonis
think?
is strong,
Hold
bro.
on. Wait, I'm just giving you top guys. You think he
I'm
could
biting
beat?
my nails here.
You think he could beat Matias?
Yeah, pass. Another guy.
Leon Paro.
Yes,
You
yes,
think he could beat Leon Paro?
yes. Because that's like another Loma. He could beat
Okay.
him.
You think he could beat Elvis Rodriguez?
Yes,
Okay. You think he could beat the Cuban Kevin Brown?
yes, yes.
Oscar Duarte?
Ooh. Ooh. Mm.
Okay, I'll put it even better. He's ranked number 14. He's ranked number 14 in the WBA. Jukembayev.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt it.
He's a strong Bayev. Obviously, strong fighter, right?
Mhm.
I just think he's too flat footed for Devin. I think
Lindolfo Lindolfo Delgado.
oh my god, bro, these are monsters. Stop it. You want to get the Devin kill? No, I don't
Dude,
want that. I don't want that fight.
we're giving you the top guys.
I know.
And I haven't even gotten into the champs besides Africa and Gary Antoine. Then you got Puello.
No, no. Puello style with Devin. Devin will beat him.
Yo, Carlos wants you to drop the link in the chat.
I'm dropping that fucking link right now, baby. That drink is Carla. Is that what I got to drop the clean for
Yo,
my
he
man?
said send a link.
Send. He said send that. Let's get it. Let's go, guys. Get up here. Yo, listen. Here it is. Dropping it right now. That is. Oh wait, I gotta press the button. It's there. It's in the building.
All
In the
right, so
building.
wait.
What's up?
So Dennis says everyone wants to see Ryan versus Devin again, or if one of them loses. Tro says I think Ryan just has Dev's number 6 times out of 10. Not saying Devin can't win, but Ryan just that
That's
guy
how
for
I feel.
Devin.
That's how I feel. Thank you. That's exactly how I feel.
Naldo
I,
says
I
I can't think of anyone either. At 47, his chances are slim to none.
oh at 47, we didn't even enter 47.
No, we didn't
You
get
kept
into
me
it.
at we didn't you kept me at 40 and I was biting my nails. Yo,
Um,
it's just tough fights. He's gonna have to show improve, bro. Oh, there's my
Tro
man
says I
right
think
there.
it depends on how they perform too, despite a loss, which is true.
Which is true. Which is true. Which is true. Carlos is in the building. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Carlito.
What's up, Carlito? Carlito
What's
got
up?
the
What's
big
up? Give me
screen. I'm
one
a little
second, real
jealous.
quick.
I'm gonna have to get off and get back on.
Yo, he's gonna
Hey yo.
fucking front lines sucio. Yo,
There
yo, hold on. Let me switch this up. I'm gonna give you guys two little ones. I'm gonna get a big one. Fuck that.
you go.
I mean,
Hey yo, Carlos, I gotta pick a bone with you, Papa.
Why?
You
mm,
said that you see Tio
let's go.
dropping Barbosa and beating him. I disagree.
Everybody disagrees.
And here's And here's why. Tio hasn't dropped anybody since the Pedro Campos fight, right?
Right.
Barboza is built different. Yeah, he doesn't have pop. I see it going to the cards. I don't see Tio stopping him, but obviously that's your opinion, so I gotta respect it. But I gotta hear why you think
We're about
Tio
to.
will drop Barboza twice and then beat him.
Okay, hold on, Carlos. Before you answer, round one, Carlos, begin.
Man, no I can't collect my. Can y'all hear me good or no?
Loud
Yeah, I
and
can hear
clear.
you. I can
All
hear
right.
you.
Fuck it. No, I got
Is it
Teofimo.
inconvenient right now?
Is it inconvenient right now?
No, no,
You do you?
I got Teo winning. You better write it down. Teo's gonna win Friday night. Listen,
Wait. Yo, Carlos, just word of advice. Don't give your prediction now because it's too soon and Edwin's gonna cheat and take your motherfucking
What you mean? I got the
prediction.
pad in my hand right
Look,
now.
look,
Did
you
you
already
see the
got the pen
screen?
and paper ready.
What'd you say, Carlos? What was your pick?
listen.
Let me see. Don't let him stop you. Just
First of
take
all, I
on
don't like,
free.
I don't like, I don't like Barbosa. I didn't like
Oh,
Barbosa in his couple fights. He's been having these split decision wins, you know, and to me, he's just boring. That's what I
Okay.
think. You know what I mean? But when I seen that Teofimo smack the taste out of Barbosa's mouth, I'm like, oh man, Teo's too athletic, too much skill. Like he couldn't react when Teo smacked him. I'm like, I just know that there's levels in this shit. And how I see Teofimo right now, he's excited, he's motivated. I know people with his antics are like, oh, he's gonna, you know, Teofimo is a roller coaster. He has some highs and some lows. But I remember the Teofimo when he fought against Loma and when he fought against Josh Taylor. And this Teofimo is gonna show why he's the Ring Magazine champion
Read,
at
read,
okay.
140.
Bang
Carlos. Read
bang
what Bang Bang just read.
bang
Out
bang
just
just
wrote.
said right now. Inactivity for a year. Barbosa's coming off 2 big wins in the last 6 months. What do you got to say about that?
All right. Who was that
Round
one dude?
one.
Who was that one dude that he fought? This Irish fighter, and a lot of people said that it was controversy.
Josh Cadley,
Claggett.
Claggett.
No, not Claggett, not Claggett.
I was gonna say
Listen,
Josh Padley, the Shakur's fighter. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. What? Who was the Irish fighter that who fought? Tio fought?
Barbosa.
Barboza fought Jack Catterall?
No, no, he not Irish. He fought
Uh,
before him.
um.
I gotta look it up.
Sean
But
McComb.
yeah. So if we being honest,
Okay.
and we being honest, both of these fighters, their performance, the last two fights performance have not been the greatest. You know what I mean? So it's like all I can go off on is their whole career. And what has been proven is that Tio, when the lights have shined the brightest, he has come up on top most of the time.
Hold on, Carlos. Hold on.
What?
Public enemy, suck a dick, you bitch ass nigga.
Hey yo, so you're talking about Shane McCobb?
Oh,
Is that what
I
you?
just yeah. No, real quick, Edwin, man,
Yep.
I gotta say I was happy as fuck seeing you in the boxing voice. That shit came out of nowhere. I saw you. I'm like, dude, round one is in the boxing voice. Hey, that was
Yo, you know
dude.
people are gonna always hate. You know when they're not there or not next, they didn't get their shot. You know what I'm saying? Public enemy. Yo, thank you. Shots out, baby. You know what I'm saying? Cause obviously you can show me that, you know what I'm saying, like you jealous as fuck, you know. We up there talking and chopping it up with some of the smartest boxing minds that come through that platform. And your opinion is that I'm riding with them? Like, brother, that's one of the biggest voices right now. I would be stupid not to take an opportunity like that. You have no idea what you're talking about. And shouts out to the boxing voice and Ness and them for showing me love. So let's continue with our scheduling program. Go.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was just like, that is what the boxing voice was missing. Like somebody as knowledgeable like you. You know what I mean? Because that's good. It's good to represent and all that stuff. New
Yeah.
blood and shit like
Oh,
that. But
absolutely, man.
going back, I know my
Yep.
pick is unpopular. I know a lot of people going with their feelings against Teofimo, what he said, but Teofimo, man, he's he cool for Cocoa Puffs, but at the end of the day, man, it would have been an embarrassment if he gets beat by Barbosa. So I'm going with Teofimo. He's dropping Barbosa. He's winning by decision. That's my pick. If you want my other picks for the fights of this weekend, I'll give it to you. I already.
Nah, no picks, just opinion. I
No,
want your
no, no, no.
opinion.
Frontline.
No,
Carlos,
no picks.
keep on.
No,
No,
no, no. It's
no.
just,
It's
it's just, I
subject
got
to change. Carlos, go.
no. There's no subject to change because I already said it. I already said it in public, so I
Yep.
gotta stand with it. If I eat my crow, I
Stand
eat
on
my
it.
crow.
Stand on
You know what I
business.
mean?
Stand on business, baby.
We
Go
don't
ahead,
How do you
hide.
Carlos.
see?
We don't hide
How do
from
you
it.
see Ramirez and Haney?
No. Wait. Stop. My show, Frontline. Ryan and Rolly. Let's start off from the top to the bottom. Ryan and Rolly. Who do you got?
Ryan Garcia is gonna knock out Rolly Romero like those Looney Tunes cartoons, and Rolly Romero's gonna be looking up to the sky. He's gonna be following the like Tweety birds going around and around and around his head. Yeah,
Frontline. Ask him about the next fight. Frontline. Who does he got?
Haney Ramirez. What you got? Who you
What
got?
you got?
That's the fight where it's like what Haney we're gonna see. You know what I mean? We're gonna see if the Ryan damage you know has affected him in his career moving forward. But I picked Haney because I believe in his skills. I believe he can bounce back. I know Ramirez is tough. He's rugged. He used to be, he was unified. But if Barbosa can beat Ramirez, Haney can beat Ramirez. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Okay. And who do you got in the Tio Barboza?
I already told you. I got Teofimo.
You got
I know,
Tio?
I know, I know.
By
People don't
what?
want to believe it, but Teofimo's gonna beat Barbosa.
By what route? What do you
And
got? It
his dad,
unanimous?
hold
He
on, and
got
his dad
decision.
already
That
by UD.
by UD? Okay, that's what I meant. That's when I asked you
Yeah,
that. I
yeah, by
wanted to know
UD. He's dropping
was it a
Barbosa.
stop? Yeah, that's what I wanted you to ask.
Barbosa's gonna touch the canvas, and Teal's gonna win by UD. He's not knocking out
Oh,
Barbosa. I didn't say that,
okay.
but him and his dad is gonna be like, "All right, we told everybody."
So you got Tio dropping Barboza in the fight at least once, but him getting up. That's what you
Yeah,
see.
Barbosa's gonna get up. He got to get up, but he's not getting knocked out.
So Carlos, let me ask you this: do you think Cambosos is harder than Barbosa?
Hmm. Hmm.
No,
Ooh.
You think
but
Cambosos hits harder
but
than
you can't. You gotta be on. We gotta be honest here. Barbosa fights, ¿cómo se dice? Cuidadito. He's not
with
your
caution?
typical,
With caution.
with caution. He's not your typical Mexican fighter that like vamos cambumbiar. Like he measures his distance. He did it with the Jack Catterall fight. You know what I mean? He does it in every other fight. That's why I don't like watching him as much because he's not exciting as traditional Mexican fighters. That's why.
Right. So you're saying that he doesn't have that traditional Mexican pressure where he gets punched a lot to give a punch. He's more calculated
Yeah,
as a Mexican fighter.
he's way more calculated. Um, you know, looking for points and stuff like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't think it's gonna be enough because if Jermaine Ortiz, they didn't give him the nod. Sander Martin, they didn't give him the nod. Um, they're not gonna give him the nod with Barbosa. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well, this ain't a top ranked show. So Tio don't got that cloak of protection on him.
Ah, okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. But we'll see. We'll see.
Who do you got in the Saul Canelo Alvarez and Skull?
Man, Canelo dog skull, man. He's gonna
He
drop
gonna
skull.
dog walk him.
Yeah, and I want him to knock him out. You know what I
I
mean?
think he's gonna get a knockout.
You know what I
I
mean?
think
It's you gotta think that event in Saudi Arabia, Lo Árabe están exciting
right,
to see Canelo up front for the first
right,
time. You know, it's gonna be a party over there. You know what I mean? And in
right.
the morning,
Yeah.
like
Uh,
Hey,
uh,
I got a question
yep.
for you.
Go ahead, Frontline.
I don't know who they are. That's what I'm gonna ask on the Ryan Rody card. Who's that Japanese fighter and that Moreno that's fighting on the first fight?
Um,
Who are they? They're at
that
126. I know that.
that little Japanese dude, you better watch out for that dude. All right. He stopped. Like I can't pronounce it. You know, I'm getting with these names and shit. Uh, that's another showcase fight. For what I believe for the Japanese audience. Uh,
Yeah, because that face off was real intense, and it got me
no,
intrigued.
that kid is a problem. But both of them, and rightfully so. Both of them are you know, they're pretty good fighters in their own right. That Japanese kid though, yeah, you know, with every Japanese fighter, all of a sudden, because of the rival of Naoya anyway, we think that all these fucking Japanese fighters are just gonna be the next best thing since sliced bread, and that's not how fighting works. Fighting is an individual man thing.
macho por
Doesn't
qué.
matter your race, it doesn't matter what your skin tone is. It doesn't matter none of that shit. If you got that gift of fighting, of understanding of how the dance lays down before you, and you understand it better than most men, then you're gonna be that guy. So every guy that comes out from Japan is not fucking the next Naoya anyway. They got Junto on this pedestal, and a lot of these other Japanese fighters, rightfully so, they're champions and they're doing their thing. And I like it. I like it. I love fighting. But you got to prove yourself. This is truly the sport where I believe we're from the show me state. You're going to have to show me you can do that shit rather than talk that shit. That's where I'm.
Yeah, that little Japanese dude looks
No, he's
solid
solid.
too.
He's solid. He's starting to make a little headways. Let's see what the fuck he does, you know. But
It's his pro debut,
yeah,
so I want to
no,
see
but
him.
the kid
So
was kicking ass all the way up the amateurs. He's doing his thing. Just like that kid. What's his name? Um that Takanomi, the one that he fought Jason Maloney. He just fought Jason Maloney.
mhm.
He was like a kickboxer. Floyd Mayweather knocked him out in an exhibition fight.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
that's the kid. He's looking sharp. He's looking pretty good. Yo, Jason Maloney, if you guys don't know anything about him, he's an above average fighter, I would say. He's smart.
He's a tough fighter.
Oh,
He's a tough
Jason
fighter.
Maloney is a tough fighter. And to think about the men that he
Yeah.
lost to, you know, it should say something, you know, and the men that he beat. He's a very tough fighter. He's skilled fighter.
Bank put it in the
Huh?
chat. Reito, Bank put his name in the chat. Reito Tusumi.
Tasumi, yeah, that's him. That's him.
That's
So
the
so
that's the kickboxer.
yeah,
No.
no, that's a
That's the guy that's
kickboxer.
gonna debut.
That's the
No, Reiti, that's the guy who's gonna
okay,
debut.
but they got a similar name. Tasumi to something. It's something like that. That kickboxer's kid's name. I'm sorry, panel and fight these Japanese names. I'm getting more familiar with the dialect of how to say them, but you know who I'm talking about. And the kid I'm talking about is the kid that Mayweather knocked out. He's developing slowly but fast, and a lot of these kids are from Japan. Owe a lot to Naoya Inoue and what he's done for that country. You know, just like Saul Canelo Alvarez, what he's doing for Mexico, just like what Terrence Crawford, Tank Davis, the Shakurs of the wheel, the Keyshawn Davis are doing for America. You know, that we have all our fighters from different parts of the world that are coming in and you know,
Yeah.
showing. So, and
Respectfully,
Naoya Inoue just had a top rank. He just had a top rank. You guys saw that shit where they were just talking in Vegas. And the one question the lady on the panel asked Naoya Inoue, what was the main question she asked him? Do you feel that you need to come to America to prove to the American audience that you need to win here in order to solidify yourself as that kind of champion? And Naoya Inoue himself said yes. It goes to show you
Eh,
where the mecca of boxing is. And make no mistake, it's in the USA. It's not in Europe. It's not in Japan. It's not in Mexico. It's not in all these other countries. We're still leading the way. Although our fans are fucking tough to fucking impress and to have us come out, the majority of the boxing world believes the best competition, and if you're gonna get that stamp of approval from the rest of the world, according to the boxing world, it's still here. That might be subject to change later, but for right now, it's still here. What do you guys think about that?
hey, they put it in the chat. The dude that fought Floyd Mayweather for exhibition was Nasukawa.
Nasukawa. Nasukawa. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
respectfully, after Inoue, Puerto Rico taking over those lower weight classes. Respectfully.
Let's see what our boy does, Oscar. You know what I mean? Let's see.
We got
No,
Oscar. We got
Yo,
we
Yankel
got
Yankel.
Rivera.
Juancito
Yankel.
Saya.
Yeah,
Man.
Juanita, Yankel. If you guys are,
Then Santiago holds the
mira, if you
belt.
guys, hey, Santiago, if you guys are listening, you guys are our future. You guys, you kids are our future. There's one thing I have not seen yet in Puerto Rican boxing, and that's a unified world champion. If you guys are listening
No,
tonight,
you undisputed.
undisputed, sorry,
Undisputed.
undisputed. Sorry, yes, unified, we've seen that. Sorry, thank you.
In the mail.
Undisputed. If you guys are listening right now to me, right, that is something that I would love to see before I die. I need to see a Puerto Rican unified, undisputed world champion. All 4 belts. I've never seen that in my life. I believe Miguel Cotto was pretty close. Uh, he had 3 belts, I think. And it wasn't
Oh, we can't forget about Malik Quinones either. The one that fought my
okay.
mother last fight.
Thank you, frontline. Thank you.
That motherfucker's gonna be a
No, that's
problem too.
another. And then Xander Zion, which is right now leading the way in some of the top Puerto Rican fighters besides Subria Matias, which will be champion when he beats Cuello's fucking ass. But is this where the legend of Xander Zion starts? Could this be the starting?
Yes.
You think so, Carlos? What do you think?
Man. That news that broke that
Yep.
Fundora ducked Xander Sayas. I was like, what? The dude that has been in Blood Wars, has been touched the canvas, went 12, ducked a fresh, no experience in 12 rounds, chamaquito, como dicen, right?
Right.
Like
Young
what
man.
was what's the not problem? What was the fear? You know what I mean? You don't just sacrifice
So the rumors.
a world title just because. And
Right.
it was like,
Well,
and I was like, man, that style was gonna be difficult for you, Fundora. No one hit you in the body like how Sayas was gonna hit you to the body. You know what I mean?
Mm.
well, the rumors is somebody, they didn't say who, but somebody priced themselves out of that fight. Then the other rumor is that Fandora vacated because he was offered more money to fight a rematch with Tim Zoo. So I wouldn't call him a duck. I mean, in boxing, that's what, the fans are used to saying is, oh, he's ducking, he's ducking. But behind the scenes, there's a lot more shit that goes on that we don't know about until it's too late and everybody's already made up their mind
But frontline,
about her.
I get what you're saying,
What's up?
but like, I'm sorry, Tim Zoo right now is not as big as Xander Shires versus Fundora and Mexico versus Puerto Rico fight.
It's not as big, but to the boxing world, they saw Tim Tszyu come back in his last performance, and they want to see more. And and not to mention that fight that when he fought Fundora, he left a lot of people wondering what would happen if he didn't get that cut. George Martinez says Belanga said the fight July 12th will be in Central Park. It's crazy, and Zaya's being ducked just like
George J.
Matias,
Yeah, I was
which
just
But
is
gonna
there's a
say
true.
that.
monkey wrench with all this though, frontline. And the monkey wrench is Bakram.
Well,
Whoa,
whoa. We're not there yet,
whoa,
Carl.
I'm
whoa,
Slow
whoa,
sorry,
down,
man.
whoa,
puppy.
whoa,
Slow down.
whoa. Yo, listen. Okay,
Slow
so
down.
assessing and breaking down what both of you guys just said, right? About do I consider, and I've talked about this on several platforms already, right? About my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I've called Sebastian Fundora a duck, and the reason why I called him a duck was when we're talking about uh the combat sport, meaning if Xander Zion was your mandatory, you mean to tell me you had the ability of honoring your mandatory and still reliving the Tim Tszyu fight? If you were so confident in the fact that you can beat Xander Zion, just beat him, collect that payday, and go get your big payday. But what you decided to do was to vacate, to 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 drop the crown as a king. You mean to tell me that you're supposed to be the king of the division with 2 belts? You're the king. No one else has more belts than you, and you willingly took your crown off and set it down because of your quest for money? When that quest for money that you're fighting Tim Tszyu for, the reason why you're taking that fight is because you think you could beat Tim Tszyu. Well, then, if you think you can beat Tim Tszyu, why didn't you think you could beat Xander Zion and keep everything? Why did they have to punk you out of relinquishing one of your belts for a bag? They what? You thought that was the easier fight because you fought him? As a king, you're supposed to accept all challenges. There's not supposed to be a see. Naoya Inoue wanted to go on and fight multiple fights, but as a champion, as a king, he had to honor his mandatories. Sometimes fighters don't want to fight these guys that are rightfully so, like a William Schofield. You end up getting stripped. I kind of think, in a sense, the boxing world made it look like, what do you see? The IBF is doing their job by stripping Canelo Alvarez. But in a sneaker, darker, undermined story, you could also view it like this. IBF was in cahoots with the fact that let's strip Canelo because he'll go back, beat William Skull, and be awarded a Mexican fighter that was undisputed twice in the same division. So,
So I don't. Can I throw a curveball your way?
yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you think Fundura vacated that belt?
Yep.
Right. Hear
Yep.
me out. Zayas is gonna fight possible opponent. They're saying is Chino Perez, the one that just beat Conwell. He goes and fights Zoo, right? He beats Zoo, then goes back and fights the winner of Zayas verse, and now he becomes quote unquote a two-time world champion in the
Right.
154,
Now,
But
and that
there's a
can make more
problem with
money
that.
for him.
okay, why?
The problem is that Fundora is not going to be a champion for long in the WBC because there's an interim champion called Virgil Ortiz Jr. who has a saying for that belt.
which Virgil is probably going to get the winner out of Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fedorov for the
Yup.
WBC.
Yup.
That's what you're saying. Okay. Now, in a hypothetical world, what Frontline just said, right? would validate my point that
Yes.
if in fact Tim Tszyu went and fought Sebastian Fundora, and then Xander Zion fights for the vacant belt against Perez, if Xander Zion's successful, and then Xander Zion was to fight the winner out of Tim Tszyu and them, and let's just say hypothetically it was Sebastian Fundora, he would have been at square one. You still got to fight both these guys. Why did you have to vacate that belt? See what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Well, for the record book,
right,
though,
but for the record book, you mean to tell me you're going to give me an opportunity to defend both my belts? I'm going to get credit for both of them, not one. With Tim Tszyu, I get credit for one. With Sebastian, with Xander Zion, I get credit for both. And then I can relive the Tim Tszyu fight. I could cash in on all of you. But somehow, some reason, Sebastian Fedora's team felt, let's not go that avenue. Let's not go the Warriors route. Let's just go this route to a guy you already beat, technically. And I think when you're making decisions like that in this sport, it really speaks to your championship credibility. How strong as a champion are you?
You know what it is? It's the PBC protection plan. I'm telling you, man.
I dig it.
Something fishy. Man. Se jodió Fundora.
No, es que I think that like many boxing observers are saying that, they think that Tim Tszyu would have won that fight had he not suffered that cut. On further watching that fight back myself, right? I said to myself, okay, the cut was a factor. There was blood coming down in his eye. I'm in agreement with all of that, right? But there's one thing I couldn't ignore. Sebastian Fundora took all Tim Tszyu's best punches, and Tim Tszyu didn't knock him out. Even with a more aggressive Tim Tszyu, a desperate man on you, and Tim Tszyu coming full-fledged forward, he still couldn't stop Sebastian Fundora, which by cutting him and getting the blood in his eyes, what he made was a more dangerous fighter that was going to be willing to take more chances. And although he couldn't see that much and his vision was impaired, which was fucked up, it might have stalled a couple sequences where that he should have been punching. I get it. But he still didn't drop Sebastian Fundora.
You know what it is, round one?
Yeah, what's up?
Tim Tszyu and Fundora are both even right now. Tim Tszyu got knocked out, lost by Bakram, and Fundora got a knockout loss by Brian Mendoza. So,
and don't forget, Lubin dropped Fedora too.
Yeah. But Tim Tszyu got dropped by somebody else too, but he came back and won.
So who got beat up worse? Tim Tszyu by Bakram or the other way? What?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Tough because Mendoza was a one-punch knockout.
I think Tim Tszyu took more.
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu took more punishment.
Come on, you got absolutely.
He didn't recover.
Yeah, because Mendoza, that was that one-punch knockout, and that's it.
It was Timber.
Tim Tszyu was getting brutalized.
That was it. So hey, look, that's an interesting situation. Bang Bang said hopefully they in the next 7 days they announced their the July 12th fight card for Central Park. I believe that.
Dude, if that card is actual, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be in Central Park. It'll be a big night. I also announced on my channel where you guys are hearing it first, just in case you're tuning in now, that I did and I am getting reports that there will be a fight in San Francisco in the fucking prison there. What's it called again? The Alcatraz. Yes. That there will be a fight in Alcatraz. There's many people talking about that at the press conference over there in New York, and I'm being told right now that yes, Teal could have had that fight, but they backed out of that fight with Teal because of the fact they didn't think between all the antics that was going around with Teal, they thought they would have might have shot their load with Teal and he wasn't gonna produce. So they're gonna revisit that with much better fighters to put on a card, and they're gonna try to give the world that kind of spectacle in fucking Alcatraz. That will be amazing. But um this is this these kind of shows that they're putting on right now are like in the experimental stage. They're experimenting with fights outside, as you can see. Look at these fights. We got one in Times Square, the announcement of one in Central Park, and now one in Alcatraz. They're starting to try this kind of method rather than renting out these big arenas and stuff. So I don't know where the ticket sales to this can be controlled or regulated or how this is going to be. I think there's only like 300 seats available for the Ryan Garcia Rolly event in New York, and most of those seats are by invitation only. But you will be able to walk around New York City and Times Square and catch the ring where that they're showing on live stat right now. I'm even watching right now where that the ring is really high, so that if you're walking by, you're going to be able to see the fighters. And so yeah, this is in experimental kind of stage right
Oh,
now for boxing. But yeah, what's up,
but there.
Carlos?
Well,
Go ahead.
in to get to Alcatraz, you got to take a ferry from San Fran
100,
to the actual island.
100.
So that's gonna be
You better make sure you
they're gonna
buy
have
a ticket
ferries
because
running
you ain't
back and
sneaking in
forth.
on that one.
Yeah,
You
buddy.
ain't sneaking into that fight.
So the event in Times Square, they got like a fence, like guarding the people that are not
No,
invited.
it's open. No, it's open.
So what?
It's just 300 seats. That's
Okay,
it.
300 seats, but the public, they can how? Okay, what I'm trying to say is like, are there gonna be security guarded? Because if it's out in the open, would just people just get closer?
Bro, people could watch it from their balconies. People could watch it from the bridge up top. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever's
Oh,
around
okay.
Times Square.
Interested. And Alcatraz,
Probably it's like when the ball drops.
yeah.
That should be flooded.
Hey Tony, I agree with you. I mean, I like what you're saying. Uh, I like how Mexicans actually support Naoya in a way, understand that he's something special and not hated like some other folks. Mexican boxing fans are cool in my book. A lot of them are traditionally mindset warriors. A lot. There are a lot of races like that. Puerto Ricans, we're the same. Mexicans, you name it. We have a lot of warrior blood inside of us. And it depends really where your warrior blood lies inside of you. Not all Puerto Ricans are these aggressive boxing fanatics. We have very intelligent men and women and stuff that like other things. But when you're talking about the Mexican fans themselves, the way that they got their recognition as a country were by sports in some sense. Either hockey, basketball, I'm not basketball, boxing, sports like that, which brings those kind of countries out. And the Mexican bloodline in boxing is rich, very rich. They've been around with USA since shit I can remember. They've always been the kind of fighters that have been in the mix with us. Quiet as kept, there are a few fighters that came from around the world and done the same, but yeah, I can say that from every nationality, basically, but uh, the noise that Naoya, in a way, the hate is he getting, it's loud from our side, and I get it. From the US side, I get it. We're a lot of us are not easily impressed, and some of us really are like, like not convinced, and but they will be. They will be. Trust me, they will be. And so listen, guys, let me ask you guys about some other fights too. Um, I don't think I ever asked Frontline this question. Who did you got in the Martin Bacoli and Njabo fight? Who do you got in that
Oh,
fight?
that's a good one.
I never
That's
got
a
your pick out of that.
you never asked me, but I'll answer now.
Let's go.
So it's a I would have had Bacoli, would have,
Ooh.
but after what Parker did to
Oh
him,
yeah.
I might have to go with Fa.
Yeah, but that was on 3 days' notice, guys. Come on.
It doesn't
FA's
matter.
only loss
He
is
got
against Frank Sanchez, a, a skilled
yes,
Cuban heavyweight.
A boxer Cuban heavyweight that exposed that Jabba for the boxer that he's not. He's a power puncher, but I gotta
exactly.
admit, in that point of his career, if Jabba, he's looking a lot better right now. He has improved. So the Jabba back then to the one that's coming into the Martin Piccoli fight, I'm not gonna say are night and day. They're not that far apart. But he's definitely, I gotta admit, he's definitely gotten better. A little bit more smarter with his approach, working off his jab. If Jabba got a nice little jab there, a stiff hard, he's got like a hard stiff jab. Like the jab looked like it fucks you up, you know. Remember that fight with in Jabba that the guy walked to the ring, looked at him, and left? Was like,
Yeah.
fuck that. He was like, man, I ain't fighting that dude, right? So
Yeah, he's from here in
is
Jacksonville
he?
too,
Is he?
Florida.
So so
Yeah,
so so
he's
so he, he looks intimidating by stature, but Martin Piccoli and that uppercut that he has, it's so fucking natural. That uppercut he throws, man, Martin Piccoli, that it's so natural for his size guy that he is. I think he works good off the 1-2. That I like Martin Piccoli's 1-2, the jab pass straight right. Fucking love it. I love that sequence that he has. Uh, but he's a big puncher, and what he did to Big Baby there, yeah, well, all camp, full camp, Martin Piccoli. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Martin Piccoli. I'm gonna go with Martin.
yeah, I agree on the full camp. Yes, but after his last performance, I don't know.
I respect you.
Hey,
I
Bang
respect you. It's
wants to
your
know.
choice. I'm not trying to change your mind. You can stay with Njaba.
Bang wants to know if you got any pictures. Bang wants to know if you got any pictures that you could share about the ring
About the ring
at in
in
Times
times.
Square.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good thing. We can throw that up there. Let's see.
While you look
Yeah.
at that, so yeah, I full camp, I would take Bacoli, but you can't say he took a full camp because he just took he just took a what second round knockout by Parker.
Ah.
So and that was recent too. That was what last month, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He got stretched out quick. He didn't take a lot of damage. Got stretched out. Got up. Got the
he got
payday.
he, he got
On
hit
to
on
the
top of his
next.
head.
On to the next. Yo, he did the Bambi
Yeah,
legs
he
though.
caught Bambi
He did the
legs,
Bambi legs.
chicken legs, and
It's gonna be a
spaghetti
good fight.
legs.
I don't really know. I really don't know who I'm gonna pick for real. Uh, this is a fight for Africa, the Congo versus Nigeria. So it's gonna be a nice fight. You know what I mean? I think I'll
you
go with
did you
Bacoli. I go with Bacoli. LA. He's a
yeah.
fun character. He's
Did
yeah.
did you guys happen to
He's
catch the little
likable.
argument between them? But who's the best African fighter? He was saying he was.
No, I
Yeah, I
didn't catch
caught it.
He,
I
that.
caught it.
you
Yeah.
caught it? Talk to us about it. Tell us what you think. What you think? What you think?
Oh, it was funny, man.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like it's funny because you know the rivalry, even in the same land. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of like like every place got that. You know what I mean? So it's very unique. But with this fight, whoever comes up on top is gonna become the number one African fighter. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yep.
Um, I gotta check the rankings. If they're let me check the rankings. See if whoever wins will move up the rankings. It says here,
I don't think that Martin Bacoli's ranking really moved even after that loss with Parker.
FA Job was number 3 in the IBF. Bacoli's number 6 in the WBA. Bacoli's number 10 in the IBF. FA Job was number 3 in the WBC.
Right.
And Bacoli's number 4 in the WBC. And I think that's FA Job was number 12 in the WBO.
All right, I'm gonna share this ring footage, but the lady that's talking, like that, I had a better one. I had a better. Or let me wait. Give me a second. I'm gonna find the better one because this one is like it's like half. It got
Muted. I don't.
half the ring done. The one I saw earlier on the Boxing Voice with Ness, when Ness was getting the images where the guy was like the same height, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Ness was like, "Yo, you see the dude standing up? He's not even the same height as the ring." I was like, "Oh shit! Look how tall the ring is." So the Ness on Boxing Voice, he has some real good pictures, right? But I got some pictures too.
But you don't think
I'm
that's dangerous
what?
for the fighter? What happens if
No,
the fighter gets knocked out the ring?
well, okay. What they're gonna do is, right, which I imagine so, they're gonna put the 4 belt ring, which they've been doing that on average now almost every fight. Uh they got like that 4 belt, 5 belt, and they got the black velcro on every rope so that it protects you kind of from like sliding out of the ring in that sense. It does, you could still fall out, but that's one of the protective measures. And I probably think that they're gonna have an extended. You saw how in the Conor Ben Chris Eubank fight, where on the side of the stage they had like lights and shit. They had like you could see like names and shit, advertisement on around the entire ring. So if you was to fall out that ring, you're gonna land on that. You're not gonna fall. You're not gonna like fall down to the ground per se. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably think of something like that. It
Yo, what do you
would be
think?
dangerous.
What do you think about Bill Haney sneaking in the ring at 1, 2 in the morning?
That's just a dad embracing the moment. That's like me. Like I can imagine. Like I've done that before. I've been at a away game, whatever sport, might have not been boxing, and it was just it was just like I didn't mean to do it. It just happened. Before the game that night, I ended up going to the school where that I was gonna play. I was with a chick. We was like 7 of us. And we was fucking around and I said, what if you open that door and that door opens? And she grabbed and the fucking door opened, bro. I was like, oh shit. And we went into the fucking auditorium. We went into the gym. And I knew the next day we were going to play our game there. I went into the middle of the court and I sat down. And before the game started, I just looked around. Before the moment, I took it all in by myself. She's like, what are you doing? I'm just taking it all in. Less than 24 hours, this is all going to be packed with our school friends, our moms, dads, whatever. I was just looking around. And so as a competitor, Devin Haney's father, he's probably going out there look at what how far we got in life. Look where my son has gotten our family name, the Haneys. Whether you like it or not, wherever you view him, this is where he got. This is a man that probably thought his life was over. He went to prison and, whatever he did in the music industry. He has this little kid, Devin Haney, growing up. Would you ever imagine your son was gonna bring you here to Times Square, and that's something that I would have went in the middle of the night, went to the ring, and I would have just sat there in my thoughts, and I would have took the moment in as a father. Yes, I would have did that if I had the opportunity.
You heard his Devin's little brother's gonna turn pro too, or he's in boxing
Mm.
now. But he was a tennis kid. But he said that his heart wasn't in tennis; it's more in
Yeah,
boxing.
well,
So you got another Haney
let's
coming
see
up.
when he gets punched in the face if he wants to go back to tennis or if he stays the course.
I,
Everybody wants to box.
I
Everybody
wanted
wants to, until you get punched in the face. Let's find out.
I wanted to ask you what you think about Devin Haney at 147. Like, you think he will have trouble at 147, or you think he beats everybody at 147 comfortably?
No, I think Devin Haney right now is on the Ryan Garcia train. I got to admit. Ryan Garcia is his boo. Ryan Garcia went to jail for a year, and Devin did the bid with him. Uh, and wrote him letters and sent him kisses on the letters because Devin Haney has not done anything else for his career unless it has to do with Ryan Garcia. Until he relives that fight back over, at what cost? At what cost? Apparently, Devin Haney, couldn't even make 147. Where that you and Ramirez scheduled this fight at 143, 144. You both weighed in at 143. Many spectators on the outside looking in said, Ramirez, this is not the young 25-year-old fault. Because if it was up to Devin, he would have made 140. This is the old guy, Ramirez, that can't make 140 no more. That's why it was 143. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying, okay, from the outside looking in, brother, you can't make 147. You're bulking up as big as you can. And the best you got was 143. And now you thinking you're going to chase Ryan to 147. Okay, let's play the tape out. Let's play this out. What if he goes up there, Devin Haney, in a good world, beats Ryan Garcia at 147? Now you're at 147. Hey, Devin Haney, do me a favor. Turn around. Who the fuck is behind you? Oh, Jerron Boots Ennis, Brian Norman Jr., fucking yeah, Mario Barrio. They're all there.
But I feel like he could beat Mario Barrios.
I don't think so.
What?
I
He
don't
number
think
one
so.
ranked.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what Devin Haney's number one ranked by the fucking WBC. Y'all keep thinking Mario Barrio's sweet. He's tall as shit. He fought some good, bro. He fought one time Keith Thurman. He fought Mario Barrios.
He
Been
got
been in
whooped.
there with Tank Davis, for God's sake. And
Hey,
you think that Mario Barrios sweet? Mario Barrio might shock the world and fucking take your little Ryan Garcia and your Devin Haney and fucking wipe them down. Mario Barrio's a real 140 pounder. He's not a fucking guy that's playing to beat a 140 pounder. I mean 147 pounder. He's there. He started 140 and now he was at 147. So he's a real 140 pounder. Mario
well,
Barrio.
round one,
Devin came into the game. What, 135, 140? Where he came?
135.
So Devin's not wasn't, bro, man. And that's what I'm talking about.
But
How far is Devin Haney willing to chase Ryan Garcia rather than chasing his career? If this is not the weight division, Devin Haney, you should be in 147. You should never be up there just yet. I'm not saying you can never go there. I'm saying just yet. I don't think he's ready for Jerron Boots Ennis. Shit, I don't think Devin Haney's ready for Brian Norman Jr. I think they're just too big. They're too strong.
even Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrio is bigger than Brian Norman Jr.
Mario Barrios got to prove to me something because his last couple fights, man, he been looking sorry.
All
And
right.
he gotta get through the legendary Manny Pacquiao.
Fuck Manny Pacquiao and that Mario Barrio stupid ass fight. Yo, that's some bullshit, man. Fuck that fight. Yo, man, you ain't supposed to be fighting no Mickey Mouse fight at the fucking height of your career with a real world title. You're supposed to be doing that when you're retired. You know what I'm saying? Exhibitions and shit. Fucking Manny Pacquiao. Isn't Manny Pacquiao elected this June to go into the Hall of Fame? I think that's all cap. You got to have 5 years to be in the Hall of Fame. You're using Manny's name to avoid fighters, Mario Barrio. Mario Barrio's turning into a little duck himself, but he's a very tough one. He's a very tough one. And when the question is not that he's ducking, see, to me, he's ducking the guys in his division, yes. But you're not talking about that. You're talking about these smaller guys coming up. And what I'm saying is, don't sleep on Mario Barrio when you're talking about fucking Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, bro. Devin might have skills, but it's just going to be another case where the bigger guy walks him down. It's going to be like another version of Ryan Garcia because Mario Barrio's big. He's not little, bro. And Devin's not that big. For as much as they call Devin Haney a weight bully who? You know, these guys ask for the smoke. If when they said Devin Haney weight bullied fucking Loma, I'm not gonna cry you a river when Lomachenko is the one that asked for the fight. Don't pull up in front of my house asking to fucking fight me, and when I go downstairs and whoop your fucking ass, you say, "Oh,
It's inconvenient.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like, no, you
pull out a
asked for
weight
that.
scale.
You asked for that fight, man, Loma. So you don't get no sympathy from me. You
Yo, here's my thing on weight bullying. Weight bullying, I don't believe in weight bullying. And here's why. If your contracted weight is 130, 135, 140, 147, whatever your weight is, and you make that weight, who gives a fuck what you come in on fight night?
right.
You made the contracted weight. So how is that person a weight bully?
That's what I'm talking about. If you make like with the other dude try to corner me on the boxing voice the other day, and he said to me, "Oh, well, damn, so and so." I forgot what boxer it was. He said, "So and so, did he make weight?" Oh, he said Edgar Berlanga. When Edgar Berlanga fought Saul Canelo Alvarez, Edgar Berlanga was allegedly 200 pounds on the night of the fight. I said, I don't know about anything about that, but what I do know is that the contractual agreement on the contract, Edgar Berlanga made the weight as a professional, and Saul Canelo Alvarez
Mhm.
made the weight as a professional. So that's all I want to know. If you made the weight that we had a contract to, then where do you violate?
You don't. That's my
Where do
thing.
you
I
violate?
don't understand where these people get that weight
All right.
bullying shit from.
So, yeah, but the weight bully thing comes from guys that can like really fucking like kill themselves. And I'm here to tell you right now, okay? If you think you have a guy out there in the world that can weight cut 25 pounds, 25 pounds, just
Healthy?
drain everything out of his body and then make the weight, come back on the next day and regain the 25 pounds that he cut, that might not be healthy for you. That actually might work against you. That's not healthy. You can gain all that weight. You think you're like, oh yeah. Your body eventually, with all the acids and all the fluctuation of liquids, you're gonna shut off halfway in that fight, bro. You know how many times I've seen that? It's not good for your body. So if you want to try to be a weight bully, come on. Come on. Right? But in the case with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, that wasn't a case no longer, I think, of being overweight. I truly think now there's something a little bit behind that. A little bit, and I can't ignore it. And I'm not saying that I have any evidence. So forgive me if I offended anybody by you thinking I called anybody a cheater here. I haven't called anyone a cheater. I have the
It's
I
your
have the
opinion. Who
right to
gives a
my
fuck what they
opinion.
think?
Thank you, Frontline. I have the right to my opinion. And if I have a right, to voice my concerns, that's all they are. I'm concerned in this fight with what I'm watching. So, and that's where I'll leave it because that's all I have. But as you guys as fight
So
fans,
here's my
yeah, go ahead.
thought. Here's my thought on just to piggyback on what you said. You said when you pulled up the picture, when he fought Haney, he looked more cut up. You got to understand the lower in weight you go, the leaner you're going to look.
Oh,
The higher you go in weight, you're not going to see the definition of the cuts and the abs and the chest and all that. That's why Ryan
I
looks
would
the
have
way he
agreed to
looks.
that, right? And me being a pretty in shape kind of guy, right? I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but in my 20s, I was a sight to look, bro. I really was. I used to put soda cans, like my water bottle. I swear to God, I'm not gonna lie. On my chest, it used to come out like that. When I would work out, if I extend my arm like this, I would sip my water and put it right there. It would set right there on my chest. I was big, right? So I know about bodybuilding. I know about size. I know about that. And the problem with Ryan Garcia and the analogy that you just gave is this. You can be more cut in the lower weight divisions, but how are you more cut and bigger in the lower weight division? Less cut, but smaller. See, meaning that if you were bigger at 147 with less cuts, we would say, look, Ryan Garcia put on size, but obviously you're not going to see definition because he would be bigger. But in this sequence, ironically, he was bigger, smaller, more cut up. But when he got bigger, he got smaller, less cut up. So I was sitting there going, I'm saying to myself, okay, I get it. You would have better abs at 143 than you would 147 because you would be a little bit more punchier. But how the fuck is your muscle structure bigger at 143 than it is at 147? You would be bulkier, less cut. But in this sequence, he's skinnier, less cut. I'm just like, that's a conundrum. You're not. I'm, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, I get it. If you get fatter, you're not gonna have as much cuts. You're not gonna be as ripped. But at least you would be bigger. You're actually skinnier right now, right? Less muscle, less skinnier, with no cuts.
but here's my thing.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Scratching my head.
I would agree with you, but
Okay.
we're talking about Ryan Garcia versus who? Rolly Romero. Do you think Garcia is gonna have the same, I don't know, attitude, discipline, and plus he had to not just have a different trainer because it was talking about Eddie Reynoso was gonna train Ryan Garcia, he's gonna get back, but now he went back to Aerospace trainer. So it was like a lot of stuff going on, and we gotta understand one thing: Ryan Garcia doesn't drink water when he trains. So
All right, Carlos.
I'm I'm,
You
I'm
you just
stating
you hold on,
facts.
Carlos. This is a good thing. This is a good thing for you, Carlos. This is actually a good thing for you. Okay. The first sentence you said changed my mind. Soon as you said it, my mind went boop, beep, beep, beep. Connect the dots. Okay. So what you're saying is you think that Ryan Garcia trained for more weight conditioning, bigger for the Devin Haney fight. So his physique would have been more focused on muscle growth. So he was working out. So for the Rolly fight, he didn't go with the muscle bulking. He You're trying to say that he went with the more I can beat him just on skill, because there is a side to this where you just introduced that I can prepare for a certain opponent in a certain way, and my camp would have felt like you need to gain more weight, more muscle. Kind of like in the NBA when like skinny guys were coming from college, they're like, yeah, you're good, but you got to put on more muscle, more size so that you
You
don't
got
get
bulk
bumped
up.
around, right? Okay. So what you're introducing to this argument is you think that Ryan Garcia entering the Devin Haney fight was more geared towards being bigger and outpowering him, right? Where that in this fight, they let the muscle leave Ryan. They decided no muscle training. We're going to get faster. And that's where that you can lose muscle structure. So I'm seeing what you're saying without you, even if you didn't see it like that, I'm putting it together for you.
Mhm.
That that uh um yeah, you can do that. I can be bigger at the same weight, and I can look skinnier at that same weight without doing any PEs. Yes, that's true. I've
Because
done that myself.
when I saw the weigh in, man, Rolly looked huge.
He looked huge. Rolly looked like he got the six pack. You seen his biceps?
Yeah,
Rolly's like this. Rolly's like, and I'm like,
and
wait
a
a minute,
tiny head.
maybe you guys should have worked out for muscle in this one, right? Just like for Devin then. But I don't know that to be true. I can introduce these things. We're having a conversation. Are they possibilities? You're damn right they are. Yeah, Carlos, you're right. Yeah, that is a possibility. He could have been working out more bulking for Devin, and it would have gave you the allure, the perception, because in that training camp, he was looking for strength to be bigger. So you prepare that way. Not every fight you prepare the same. So maybe in this fight, he didn't want to go to the bench. He wanted to go to the bag, and which you will lose if you're not working out always on your muscles. You're going to lose that bulky look. So that is true. Yeah.
A lot of
As soon
cardio.
as you said that sentence, all that shit I just said popped into my head. That's how I think.
Man, Frontline, I want to ask you a question, man.
Shoot.
What you think about Devin Haney versus Rohan Polanco
At
at 47?
47, Rohan Polanco dust right Devin Haney.
Woo!
He will dust
Domi.
him. And not to mention, it's still early in Rohan Polanco's
Mm-hmm.
career, but I still got Rohan Polanco. Bro, it'll be a devastating fucking
Rohan
matchup.
Bro,
hit
Worse than Ryan.
Rohan punches too hard for me, for Devin. I think Rohan I'm gonna go out there on a limb here. And I don't think it's a very
Sleep
I don't
some.
think it's a very I think my limb is pretty strong. Right? Um
Sleep some.
Yeah, he might sleep him.
his
Rohan
next
punch.
fight, he's gonna fight McDonough's brother,
Yeah,
little
but that's in
brother,
May
Yep.
4th. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch this. I wanna see
and
Rohan, what he looked like.
Barrios didn't stop him. He dropped him, but he didn't stop him. Rohan's gonna stop him.
I hope so. Let's see if he can make that kind of message, because these are the kind of stages and the nights that are set for these fighters to really come out and showcase their skills. This is fucking Rohan Polanco's moment. Let me see what you're gonna do. And hopefully, fingers crossed. I got off the phone with Camachito a couple hours ago, and Rohan acknowledged me. He said, yo, tell your man when he drops down, depending where I'm at, if I can slide in, I got him on the interview. So I might get, but I'm a dumbass, bro. I should have not even went there like the day of the fight, bro. What the fuck were you guys letting me? Why you guys let me do that? Why you guys didn't tell me,
You should have
Edwin?
got your
Why didn't
star.
you schedule the ticket the third or something the day before the fight? I got the
You
ticket,
should have got your
huh?
star. You should have got your star.
Oh my god, my fucking star! I want to fucking choke that lady at the DMV today. She was like, but and then the other lady was cool as shit because she was Latina, and she was like getting at me too. And my brother had to come in and cock block real quick, you know. But I was like, "Yo, what's up? What you doing?" Like, yeah. But I was fucking around with her.
Was it your brother or
Right,
nephew?
right. But I'm trying to get the ID at the lowest price, my man. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, right. So I'm up there. I'm like, "Yo, lady, like, if I pay you extra money, could I get this ID like overnight, 24 hours type shit?" I was like, "Name your price. What do you want?" She's like, "First of all, we ain't gambling." She was like, "Yeah, you could pay me $50, and but I can't guarantee you the ID will be at your house for the 4th when you leave." So I said, "Okay, what's the other option?" I said, "Could I fly to Las Vegas and alert the airline that I do got my ID with the star on it, the real ID they're calling it?" She said, "Yes, you can do that." I said, "Great, let's do that." She said, "You have to have a letter written to them 48 hours." I said, "That don't work for me because the 48 hours lands on the 4th. They won't, I'll be stranded out there." She said, "You're right. It will not." I said, "So what do I do?" She was like, "In your case, wait for your ID and save your money." She said, "No matter what money I pay you, you pay me right now. I can't guarantee the ID will be in your fucking mailbox at 6 in the morning when you're going to the airport. When your mail guy goes out there at the afternoon, you're still gonna miss it." I was like, "All right." I said, "So what if I put the mailbox in my mailbox and my wife mails me the fucking ID, in Las Vegas type shit?" So it was just too much.
But I
It
got a
was
question.
too much. That's
That
too much. It's just like, so I was just like, man, I'm just gonna fly there in and out. I saw today they had Top Rank Naoya inoue. They showed them like walking around signing shit, and I'm just sinking in my chair, like I'm just like I should be there. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck, bro?
you can't use a passport.
I don't have a passport.
Oh, you don't got a passport,
Nah,
man.
I ain't
I
got
got a
one.
passport.
Nah, I ain't got a passport. I ain't never wanted a pass
When I
during the
took a
port. You know what I'm saying?
when I took that picture for that passport, I looked like I've been in jail.
Man, you look
People,
like you're in a third world country. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
went to hey man, fue para RD. Went to DR, fell in love.
Yo,
Man,
my brother went to DR. My sister went to DR. They all told me it's an amazing experience. My brother was like, "Listen, for $5, you can have 3 prostitutes and fucking." He's like, "It's
mm.
awesome." So I'm like, I'm like, wow, $5 gets you three. I'm like, damn, I got a 10 right here. Like, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean?
You good.
But he said, no, all of all, he said they treat you like a king. He says there's always hot towels on the thing, and whenever you need like drinks or stuff, like the people are constantly, not like in Puerto Rico. You get there, you're on your own. But there's two sides to that. There's two sides to that. Although Dominican Republic wait over you hand and foot. If you were to travel outside of that resort, you're truly on your own. Then Dominican dudes will rob you or try to rob you as a tourist. But in Puerto Rico, they might not wait on you hand and foot. But as a tourist, you can walk all that and you will be safe because the caserio will protect you. They're not going to let you get robbed as a tourist. It's not going to happen. So, like,
where I be at, man. I was not in no tourism. You estaba en
where
el
were you in
party.
Santo Domingo?
Yeah. I was
Okay,
no. Yo llegué. I got to Santiago.
okay,
Went to Cibao,
right,
and I stayed at La Vega.
uh huh,
And then from there, I went from the capital, Santo Domingo, but then I went to my where my family was because I got family members that are Dominican, they're Dominicans.
Yep.
So you my family comes from San Pedro Marcoris, the
Ooh,
Marcoris, the best baseball players. I think Ness is from there too.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, my grandma, she's from there, but she
It's
don't. Go ahead.
yo, it's a culture shock, right? Because
Yeah.
in America, right? What Americans don't know, right? When Dominicans were started, like in like the early '90s, right? Like shipping Dominicans from Santo Domingo to America, they were doing that at a high price. So what they were sending out here were like farmers, not your typical, and they turned those guys into the drug mules and the drug dealers. So in the beginning, Dominican dudes in America, they were real easy to get. They were like out of like a fish out of water. They didn't know how to like fluctuate, but they stayed the course, making drug money, whatever, etc. And they got a name for themselves. So right when the Puerto Ricans were making the transition in the '80s to the 1990s, where that the black dudes had like all the fucking corner stores and the car wash, and all of a sudden the Puerto Ricans had their turn. Now the Dominicans are entering their turn, right? And in out here, they review Dominican guys as like these huge success drug dealers. Like they're like, oh, I like a lot of Puerto Rican women fell for that. They were like, oh, let me get with a Dominican dude, right? They didn't know they're the same. Black, Puerto Rican, Dominicans, all niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
we are. You know what I'm saying? So um we it's you weren't gonna get
I got
nothing
a
out of them
question.
neither. So
I'm
what
from.
happened was, wait, what
Go
happened
ahead.
was, this is where I'm getting with all of this, is that when you saw the Dominicans out here shining, what I what I said all of this to say this was, when you went back to Santo Domingo, tell me, wasn't it a culture shock when you went out there and you saw the real way of how they live and how they really are? You like you would see, like, it's not all this fucking baseball player $1 million Dominican dudes. It's not
Um,
like all these drug dealers with New York with all gold teeth. They don't look like that, do they?
you got to understand one thing. I'm young. I'm way younger from you and Frontline, and I was
Oh
gonna ask
yeah.
you a question. And
Fuck you, nigga. I ain't old.
what shit, bruh. No, but like I was gonna ask you, Edwin. In
Yeah.
your childhood, you was raised in Jersey, right?
Yeah. Well, I was raised in Jersey until I was 13. And
But
then from there I went to Massachusetts.
but was there as many Dominicans there at that time
There
compared to
was none. There was
exactly?
zero.
So when I got to the airport, it was packed. Estaba lleno de domis. I'm like, man. I look around. I'm like, man, I stand out because they looking at me. They're like, yeah, he's not one of us. So it's like, no. So that's why I'm like throughout the time and where I'm from. You seen the population of Dominican Dominicans just rise throughout the years. And
Yeah.
me, I'm raised. I'm fully raised as a Puerto Rican, the caserío, like,
Yep.
I'm not no fucking Berlanga, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
And
So
I tell you,
uh,
look, when like my family went out there, I got my kid's mother. I got a son. My son's about 22 right now, 23, 22. And his mother dates this Dominican dude out in Santo Domingo. So I be telling her all the time, yo, you're gonna go out there one day and get kidnapped. Stop fucking around and going out there, right? So she goes out there and shit, and she like tells me about, she sees like a lot of them was like they addicts and shit. They're all like hooked on drugs. A lot of them, a big portion, when you're starting to head towards that like the Haiti side, and it's real like
it's a
the
third world
drugs.
country.
right, like the drugs and stuff. So then I just said to her, then they're like everybody else. Because if you go to Puerto Rico and you go further out, you're gonna see the same shit. So I
Okay.
said, so they are human. So they are just like all of us. So they're not better than everybody. They're just like us. All you're seeing is their best. And over here, you might think that shit, they're like the superior Latin race. But when you go over there, you see the truth that they're hiding. And they're just like all of us. We got our superstars just like they got theirs. They're just as fucked up as we are, just like anybody else in the fucking planet. There's no super race. That's where my eyes were lifted, that they're no better than me and I'm no better than them. We're equal. We are equal. And that's when you start to see the world for what it really is. A man is just a man. We can rise and fall. It truly doesn't matter where you come from. A man is just a man. You know what I'm saying? And to
Yeah.
Armando's question, what about Haney versus Dalton Smith? What do you guys think about that? You guys think that Dalton Smith can beat Devin Haney now?
I don't know much about Dalton Smith, so I
Yeah,
can't
me
answer
either.
that.
Dalton Smith. That's got to be some European guy.
None of you guys know who Dalton Smith is. Wow. Okay. I get it. Yeah, that's
Who is
cool.
this dude?
He's the
He's gonna
number
have.
one. He's the number one to the WBC to Alberto Puello's belt.
Hold on, but where's he from?
He from the UK, United Kingdom. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it, man. That's the Royal Guards right there, man.
That's the Royal Guard.
You know, with the helmet hat,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they
yeah.
silent. I chilled
They
them.
don't move. He's
They
like
don't
right
move,
there.
but they'll smack you if you do something stupid.
So he's a nutcracker.
Oh man,
Yo,
he's
listen.
18 and 13. He's 18 wins, 13 knockouts, 0 losses, 0 draws. Okay, but that's in the UK though. When he come
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
states, that is
yeah,
different.
yeah. And that's what we're talking about too. Sometimes, like, is boxing the premier of boxing still in the US? Do we still hold that title amongst all the countries around the world that the best boxing does happen in the US? And does
Well,
Dalton Smith have to come here to prove himself or to win a belt to try to bring it back? What's up,
I think
Frontline?
I think they call the U.S. the quote unquote better boxing is because of the flashiness. You know what I'm saying? Like
Not
we some
not
flashy
technically.
we flashy fighters. We like to showboat. We like to move and shit like that. What I notice about UK fighters, you're very old school as far as like their boxing technique. It's a very come forward, stand. You know, they don't not a lot of head movement, not a lot of footwork. It's just tome dame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when they do try to use a lot of footwork, no sale bien. Like it don't
Ex-
work for them. Like
it,
like
right.
like Ben Whitaker. You know what I mean?
Okay. Speaking of which, right, about to shut this down right here before I go. Um, because you guys have no idea what's over here at my left right here. Listen,
Take your glasses off.
listen, no tiene ropa. Okay. Anyway, listen, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. But look, uh, what I'm saying to you guys is this. I lost my fucking train of thought, bro.
I'll see you
Um,
tomorrow.
listen, no. Wait. Hold on. I gotta end it. I gotta end the show right. Um, I was gonna ask you guys about
Stop looking to the left there, dude.
God damn it, I can't stop looking, bro. That shit is bomb. Like, yo, but you have no idea. She thinks it's cute, but it's not because it be distracting me because it just took me on my train of thought. Look, I'm just gonna end it. Listen, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Round one thoughts on the Times Square fight. Card overshadowing both Canelo and Naoya in a way fight. The only way any fight can ever overshadow another fight it's by its performance. Each fight, one night kicks off the next night and the next fight. You're gonna know if you're the last fight, if you got to step it up. Naoya Inoue will be the last man to bat. Ryan Garcia, Saul Canelo Alvarez will start off the weekend. Let's see how those fight cards, and if there's any surprises on any of these fight cards that exceed or rise above the expectations. I can't wait. That what makes it all interesting. To my guests that came on Frontline, Carlos, thank you for coming on. You guys are always welcome, always the best. I had an amazing time here. We broke down a lot of these fights. Like we say, we're here at Round One Sports Talk. We're a very tight community here, but we will acknowledge and accept what you have to say about these fighters, and that we're not going to jump you and not try to bash your mind. We take what everybody says into consideration because we love the fight game. So fight fans, Armando, Bam Bam, for me to you, all you guys, have an amazing night. I will see you tomorrow night, and I will see you at these fights. So I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Later.
Was
Good night, guys.
good night.
Corillo.